Your life does not feel stuck because you are lazy or incapable. It feels stuck because your attention is scattered in 100 directions at once. You are not losing because others are ahead of you. You are losing because you are constantly reacting. Reacting to opinions, reacting to messages, reacting to comparisons, reacting to situations that were never meant to control your inner world. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering begins the moment the mind leaves its center and chases what is outside. A distracted mind cannot build a stable life. A reactive mind cannot create steady progress. The real problem is not effort, it is misplaced attention. Now consider this carefully. What if your constant need to explain yourself is quietly weakening your presence? What if every emotional reaction is teaching people how easily you can be disturbed? What if silence is not avoidance, but repositioning your power? Buddhism teaches right attention and restraint of speech before it teaches control of the world. When you react impulsively, you hand over authority. When you pause, you reclaim it. The one who controls attention controls direction. The one who controls reaction controls destiny. In this video, you will learn how to gather your scattered attention and turn it into inner strength. You will understand how silence can protect your energy, how disciplined focus stabilizes your emotions, and how shifting your internal power structure can completely change the way life responds to you. This is not about ignoring the world or becoming distant. It is about mastering your own mind before 2026 begins, so that instead of reacting to life, you begin directing it from a place of calm, clarity, and Buddhist wisdom. Lesson 1. Your attention is being stolen, not used. Modern life is designed to fragment your mind. Every notification, every headline, every comparison is competing for one thing: your attention. In Buddhist philosophy, attention is not a small matter, it is the steering wheel of consciousness. Wherever attention goes, the mind follows. And wherever the mind follows repeatedly, identity is formed. If your attention is scattered all day, your sense of self becomes unstable. You begin to feel pulled in different directions, unsure of what truly matters to you. This is not weakness, it is misdirected awareness. The Buddha taught that suffering begins when the mind chases external objects without discipline. Today, those objects are endless. Social media updates, other people's achievements, opinions that provoke you, messages that demand instant emotional response. Each reaction may feel small, but psychologically it drains energy. When you react with irritation, defensiveness, or comparison, your nervous system activates. Stress hormones rise. Focus weakens. Clarity fades. These are not spiritual ideas alone, they are mental mechanics. Emotional reactions are energy leaks. They scatter your inner strength across situations that often do not deserve it. Focus in Buddhism is a form of sovereignty. It is the ability to decide where your mind rests. When attention is disciplined, identity becomes steady. You are no longer defined by the latest comment, the latest news, or the latest comparison. Instead, you choose what shapes you. This is why meditation begins with something simple like the breath. Not because the breath is magical, but because it trains attention to stay where you place it. A trained mind does not wander helplessly. It observes, chooses, and responds deliberately. Begin noticing what repeatedly captures your reactions, what consistently irritates you, distracts you, or pulls you into comparison. In Buddhist understanding, what you repeatedly react to, you silently prioritize. Lesson 2. Reaction is hidden submission. Most people believe reacting quickly shows strength. They think speaking immediately, defending instantly, or expressing every emotion proves confidence. But look closely. Every reaction gives someone access to your nervous system. The moment a comment changes your mood, a message disturbs your peace, or criticism controls your thoughts for hours, authority has shifted. You may feel expressive, but psychologically, you have surrendered control. In Buddhist understanding, this is not power, it is attachment to impulse. The Buddha placed great emphasis on right speech and restraint, not to suppress truth, but to protect inner stability. When you react without awareness, you are not choosing your response. You are being moved by conditioning. Emotional impulsivity is a loss of internal authority. It means something outside you pressed a button and your system obeyed. That is hidden submission. It feels justified in the moment, but afterward there is often regret, overthinking, or exhaustion. The mind replays the situation, searching for better words. This is the cost of unguarded reaction. Calm restraint is different. It is not silence out of fear. It is silence out of control. When you pause before responding, you interrupt the automatic chain between trigger and action. Neuroscience shows that even a brief pause allows the rational brain to regain influence over emotional centers. Buddhism understood this long ago through mindful awareness. When you observe anger without speaking it, when you feel provocation without feeding it, you strengthen self-command. You prove to yourself that you are not owned by emotion. Restraint does not mean weakness. It means your emotions pass through you without dictating your behavior. A restrained mind chooses timing. It chooses tone. It chooses whether a response is even necessary. This is strength under control. As you move forward, notice where you react automatically. Each time you pause instead, you are reclaiming authority over your inner world. Lesson 3. Over-explaining is a sign of internal doubt. Notice how quickly you feel the urge to explain yourself when someone questions your decision. Your chest tightens. Your mind starts organizing arguments. You begin adding extra details that were never asked for. This habit feels responsible, even polite. But psychologically, over-explaining often reveals something deeper. It reveals internal doubt. In Buddhist philosophy, attachment to approval is one of the subtle roots of suffering. When you feel compelled to justify every choice, you are not simply sharing information, you are seeking validation. Why do we justify so much? Because we fear being misunderstood. We fear that if others see us incorrectly, we will lose respect, connection, or belonging. The mind wants control over perception. It wants everyone to see us in the right light. But this desire creates anxiety. You replay conversations in your head. You edit your words. You defend decisions long after they are made. This is not clarity. It is attachment to image. And attachment always disturbs peace. There is also a modern layer to this problem. Social approval has become addictive. Likes, comments, agreement, praise. These small signals train the brain to seek external reassurance. Over time, your nervous system begins to associate disagreement with threat. So when someone questions you, you rush to explain, not because truth requires it, but because your ego feels unstable. In Buddhism, this is identification with the self-image. You begin protecting an idea of who you are instead of resting in who you actually are. But something powerful happens when you stop explaining unnecessarily. When your decisions are aligned with your values, they do not need constant defense. When you allow silence to stand, you force life to respond to your actions, not your arguments. Results speak in ways explanations never can. Strategic silence removes debate. It shifts attention from your words to your consistency. This does not mean refusing communication. It means speaking with intention, not insecurity. When you reduce the need to justify, you strengthen inner certainty. Silence becomes strategic, not passive. It becomes a sign that your confidence is rooted, not borrowed from approval. Lesson 4. Comparison is mental self-betrayal. Comparison does not begin with jealousy, it begins with curiosity. You look at someone else's progress, their body, their income, their confidence, and your brain instantly calculates where you stand. It feels harmless, even motivating. But something subtle happens in that moment. Your nervous system registers a gap, and that gap becomes tension. In modern psychology, social comparison triggers dopamine spikes followed by drops. You scroll, you measure, you feel briefly stimulated, then quietly dissatisfied. Over time, your brain becomes conditioned to seek these comparison highs, even though they leave you emptier afterward. This is not inspiration, it is chemical manipulation. But the damage goes deeper. Comparison distorts your sense of time. When you see someone achieving quickly, your mind begins to believe you are late. Late in success, late in relationships, late in growth. The internal clock speeds up artificially. You rush decisions. You abandon processes halfway. You doubt paths that were once meaningful. This distortion creates anxiety because you are no longer living according to your natural rhythm. You are living according to someone else's highlight reel. The most dangerous effect is this: comparison weakens internal pacing. Every person has a psychological tempo, a speed at which learning, healing, and building become stable. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you override that tempo. You either push too fast and burn out, or hesitate too much and shrink back. Both outcomes disconnect you from your own development. In Buddhist philosophy, this is a form of ignorance. The mind leaves its own path and wanders into illusion. Buddhism teaches that each life unfolds according to karma and disciplined action, not social clocks. Karma is not fate. It is accumulated causes and conditions. Your results emerge from your habits, your focus, your persistence. Another person's timeline is shaped by their causes, not yours. When you compare, you ignore this truth. You try to harvest fruits from seeds you did not plant. Self-betrayal happens when you abandon your own unfolding to chase another's season. Peace returns when you step back onto your path. The moment you stop measuring yourself against external timelines, your mind slows. Clarity returns. Discipline stabilizes. Growth becomes steady again. And steady growth, unlike rushed growth, lasts. Lesson 5. Quiet work builds unshakable identity. There is a strong temptation to announce your growth before it is stable. You start a new habit and want to tell people. You set a new goal and feel the urge to declare it publicly. You experience a small breakthrough and immediately want recognition. This impulse feels harmless, even motivating, but psychologically, announcing goals too early often weakens follow-through. When you speak about your plans, your brain receives a small reward, as if progress has already been made. Dopamine rises from social acknowledgement, not from actual discipline. The mind feels satisfied without doing the difficult work. In Buddhism, this is attachment to praise before transformation has ripened. External validation disrupts focus in subtle ways. The moment others know your attention shifts outward. You begin thinking about how you appear instead of how you improve. You wonder who is watching. You imagine reactions. You adjust your effort to maintain an image. This divides your energy. Instead of pouring fully into the process, part of your mind is managing perception. Divided attention weakens identity. You begin performing growth rather than embodying it. Quiet work protects your energy. When no one knows what you are building, there is no pressure to impress. There is no audience to satisfy. There is only the task itself. In Buddhist discipline, monks train in silence, not because progress must be hidden, but because silence strengthens concentration. When effort is internal, it becomes stable. When effort depends on applause, it becomes fragile. Think of a blade being forged. Steel is shaped under intense heat, and repeated strikes. There is no applause inside the furnace, no admiration in the fire. The strength of the blade comes from pressure endured in private. If the metal demanded recognition before it was hardened, it would remain weak. Identity works the same way. It is forged in discomfort, repetition, and unseen correction. Applause does not create strength, heat does. Invisible progress builds emotional independence. When your habits grow quietly, your confidence no longer depends on praise. You know your discipline because you live it daily. You do not need reminders from others. This independence changes how you move through the world. Criticism loses power because your identity is not built on approval. Praise loses control because your effort is not built on admiration. You become steady. In Buddhist philosophy, right effort is consistent, not dramatic. It does not seek attention, it seeks alignment. When you commit to quiet work, you protect your growth from distraction. You allow your identity to solidify without interference. Over time, the results will speak, but by then, you will not need them to. Your strength will be internal, not borrowed. And strength built in silence does not easily break. Lesson 6. Boundaries without drama. Many people believe that putting yourself first requires confrontation, explanation, or emotional intensity. They imagine boundaries must be loud to be respected. But in Buddhist philosophy, strength is rarely dramatic. It is steady. Boundaries without drama are more powerful than arguments filled with emotion. When you protect your energy calmly, you shift the balance of power without creating chaos. The loud boundary seeks validation. The quiet boundary creates clarity. Putting yourself first does not mean becoming cold or distant. It means recognizing that your attention and emotional stability are limited resources. When you say yes to everything, respond instantly to every message, and absorb every emotional projection, you weaken yourself. A scattered mind cannot live peacefully. Buddhism teaches right effort and right speech, both rooted in awareness. Not every request deserves an immediate response. Not every comment requires engagement. Not every provocation deserves energy. Delayed responses are a form of power. When you pause before replying, you interrupt emotional momentum. The other person expects instant reaction. That expectation is the hook. Hooks exist in arguments, guilt, urgency, and manipulation. When you react quickly, you confirm the hook works. When you delay, the hook loses strength. Silence removes hooks because it removes access to your nervous system. The situation can no longer pull you automatically. You decide if and when to engage. Emotional detachment without hostility is the key. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means you do not internalize what does not belong to you. If someone speaks from anger, you do not absorb their anger. If someone projects insecurity, you do not defend yourself endlessly. In Buddhism, this is the practice of non-attachment to mental formations. You observe the emotion, but you do not become it. This creates psychological distance, and distance creates clarity. Power dynamics change quietly when you stop reacting. Those who relied on your explanations may feel unsettled. Those who expected immediate access may feel resistance. But this discomfort is not your responsibility. When you consistently respond calmly, briefly, and intentionally, people learn how to approach you. They adjust to your standard. You do not need to announce boundaries repeatedly. Your behavior communicates them. Practical value lies in application. Limit over-explanation. Reduce emotional tone in conflict. Take time before replying to charged messages. Say no in simple language without adding layers of justification. These actions protect your energy and stabilize your mind. Over time, you will notice fewer conflicts escalating, fewer arguments draining you, fewer people testing your limits. Boundaries without drama are not about controlling others. They are about controlling yourself. In Buddhist understanding, Mastery of self is greater than mastery of others. When silence removes hooks and calm replaces reaction, you stop being emotionally pulled. And when you stop being pulled, your life becomes steady, intentional, and deeply aligned. Lesson 7. Inner alignment ends outer chaos. By now you have seen the pattern. Scattered attention weakens identity. Reaction drains authority. Over-explaining reveals doubt. Comparison distorts your timing. Seeking validation disrupts growth. Weak boundaries invite emotional control. All of these problems share one root: inner misalignment. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering intensifies when the mind, speech, and action move in different directions. When you think one thing, say another, and do something else, conflict multiplies. Not because the world is against you, but because you are divided within yourself. Inner alignment begins with focus. When your attention is intentional, you stop feeding what weakens you. You no longer allow every opinion to enter your mind. You no longer react to every stimulus. Focus stabilizes awareness. It teaches your mind where home is. Without focus, your identity shifts depending on who you are around. With focus, your core becomes steady. Silence deepens that stability. When you reduce unnecessary speech, you reduce unnecessary conflict. Many external problems are fueled by words spoken too quickly. Silence gives space for emotion to settle before it becomes action. It protects you from creating chaos with your own impulses. In Buddhism, restraint of speech is not suppression. It is discipline applied to prevent future suffering. A silent mind sees clearly. A reactive mind creates storms. Discipline then strengthens alignment. Discipline is not punishment. It is consistency between intention and action. When you promise yourself something and follow through, trust builds internally. When you act according to your values rather than your moods, identity solidifies. This reduces anxiety because you are no longer unpredictable to yourself. Psychological stress often comes from self-betrayal, from breaking your own commitments. Discipline repairs that fracture. Self-responsibility completes the structure. Instead of blaming circumstances or people for your emotional state, you examine your reactions, your attention, your choices. This does not mean accepting mistreatment. It means recognizing that your internal response belongs to you. Buddhism teaches that while you cannot control every condition, you can control how you relate to it. When you take responsibility for your focus, your speech, and your behavior, power returns inward. When actions, values, and attention align, outer conflict reduces naturally, not magically. Challenges still exist, people still disagree, situations remain unpredictable, but the chaos does not penetrate you the same way. Because you are not fighting yourself while facing the world. You are not arguing internally while arguing externally. There is coherence in your decisions. That coherence creates calm. Psychologically, alignment reduces cognitive dissonance. Your brain no longer wastes energy managing contradictions. Emotion stabilizes. Decisions become simpler. You move with clarity instead of confusion. Others feel this steadiness. They approach you differently. Drama fades, not because the world changed overnight, but because you stopped feeding it with scattered reactions. Inner alignment is quiet strength. It is the result of focused attention, restrained speech, disciplined action, and full self-responsibility. When these elements work together, your life becomes organized from the inside out. And when your inner world is ordered, outer chaos loses its grip. One day in 2026, something will try to pull you back into noise. A message will arrive at the wrong time. A comparison will appear when you least expect it. A misunderstanding will test your patience. The world will not suddenly become quieter. The distractions will not disappear. The triggers will still exist. But the difference will not be outside of you. The difference will be who they meet. They will not meet the same version of you who reacted instantly, who explained endlessly, who measured their worth against shifting standards. They will meet someone steady, someone who has trained their attention, someone who pauses before speaking, someone who no longer leaks energy into situations that do not deserve it. They will meet a mind that understands silence is not weakness, but discipline. A mind that knows focus is not selfish, but responsible. A mind that has chosen alignment over approval. And in that moment, something subtle will change. You will feel the urge to react, but you will not obey it. You will feel the pull to compare, but you will return to your own path. You will sense misunderstanding, but you will not rush to defend. Instead of noise controlling you, you will observe it. Instead of chaos entering you, it will pass by. That is the quiet shift. Not dramatic, not announced, but real. This is how identity upgrades happen, not through grand declarations, but through repeated inner discipline. Through attention guarded carefully, through silence used wisely, through actions aligned with values. When you protect your inner world long enough, your outer world begins to reorganize around your calm. As you move toward 2026, carry this with you. You are not trying to escape the world. You are training yourself to stand steady within it. Let your focus deepen. Let your silence strengthen. Let your discipline mature quietly. If this message helped you see something differently, continue walking this path with intention. Stay present, stay aware, and keep building the version of you that does not bend easily to noise.